We are Grassroots Garage, and this is a Datsun Heaven series. On this episode of Grassroots Garage, after a long day filming with the Datsun boys from SoCal, turned out they had another surprise for us. They had organised a workshop tour for us down at McKinney Motorsports. So we packed up our gear, jumped in the truck and headed off. We tried never to miss an opportunity to get some footage, so we had a GoPro and a camera rolling just to catch these 510s rolling down the freeway. After about a 20-minute drive, we end up in McKinney Motorsports car park, and straight away we're greeted with some pretty awesome rides. Like this one-of-a-kind Z car, powered by a Nissan V8 VK56DE, with ITBs as well. In standard trim, it pumps out about 320 horsepower. See that sneaky S15 Silvia sitting in the background? That's actually a Fast and the Furious car.
This car was in the movie, was it?
Yeah.
Which bit of it?
You know, the love scene where they're drifting up the mountain. You see the silver S15?
Oh, no way.
That's this. Then in the 4 in the beginning when Paul Walker's character's chasing down.
Not David Park.
Yeah.
Is this his car?
Yeah, that's his car.
This is David Park's car. How good is that?
Another notable mention about the McKinney Motorsports team, they actually gave Tannerfoust his first Formula D drift drive in 2006 in the McKinney Silvia.
This is a little bit special, McKinney Motorsport. Gary, thanks for your time.
No problem. Thanks for coming by.
Tell us about your workshop.
Simple shop. You know, father and son team building a lot of the Datsuns and Nissans. You know, we do everything from custom fab to full restoration. So it's basically whatever you want, as long as the check clears, I'll build it.
Yeah. How good's that? Bring your checkbook and we'll do it.
Yeah.
Love that. So tell me when the shop first started.
This shop officially started in 1996. Mm-hmm. I was an engineer at Sony. I was working that during the day, then here at night. Mm-hmm. My dad was doing this full time. He's been building cars since the 50s.
Wow.
But in 96, I was street racing and beating a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So then it's, hey, work on my car, then it slowly went out of the garage into a shop. Mm-hmm. When we first started, I think our shop was like 1,100 square feet. And, 2017, I'm now in a 5,000 square foot shop, but it's still me and my dad.
Wow.
So we do all the work ourselves.
What were you driving back then, 97?
I was driving a 240 SX with an RB in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were, first it was an RB SR20. Mm-hmm. I think that was in it for a year. Went to RB25. Mm-hmm. Then I went RB26. And I think the last few years of me out on the street was RB26 powered.
Do you have quarter mile time for it?
No. It was
what do you reckon it was?
No idea. It was a lot of a show car too. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't so much into the drag racing. We had the drag 510. Mm-hmm. I was more into drifting. So we'd be drifting in the mountains all night. Then the next day, car show. And we'd have to go to the car show and change tires and clean it. And I was more into the drifting side with that car.
Got ya. But this is, in California, that's quite a rare car.
Yeah, especially in that time period. It was still majority of Hondas. So a lot of guys, say, hey, it's an RB. And they're like, oh, what's an RB? Oh, it's a motor that came in the Skyline. Then they would figure out because of Gran Turismo and some of the other stuff. And they realized what it was, but...
Because you guys didn't get the first two Skylines. Mm-mm. Is that, you got a 32 out there? Mm-hmm. How many 32s are around? Not many.
A lot. There's actually a lot of, because they're now legal in the United States because of the 25-year rule. So I do a lot of the maintenance because I've been doing RBs for years. So they'll bring them in. I do maintenance work, upgrades, and things like that.
Is it 33s that are still really rare?
Yeah, 33s and 34s are still illegal in the United States.
Illegal?
Yes.
Because that's the thing, we're just looking at. The car from Fast and Furious is out the front, just so you know.
Yeah, that car, not on the street.
Nah, and Brian O'Connor, for an Aussie, Brian's got the blue RB 33, and we're just like, so what? Because the 33s
they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. So I was told that for an American, that's quite a rare car.
It's quite a rare car. Worked on a few here. I know a couple guys that have them.
just locked away.
Yeah, they come in at night under, in a trailer, work on them at night with a car cover in the daytime.
Will they ever become legal?
They will with the 25-year rule, but also it has to do with what the EPA is going to do. I'm not into that. I have a buddy that does all that regulations, and he's really informative. So if I have a question, I call him, hey, what about this? And he's like, not for a few years, or hey, there's no way. And he does all that for me. I mean, I've been doing this 96, so automotive world, as you know, is really, really, really small. It looks big, but it's actually a very small place. So kind of packed in here, but it's all Nissans.
Wow, look at this.
So just about every motor conversion, tow-made, RB, LS, RB25, SR20DE, GTR, RB26 R34, S13 SR20. It's a drift car up there. We got a few Zs we're going through restoration with. And there's our old drag car we'll be putting back together.
What did that have in it?
It used to have an SR20 making roughly 800 horse.
Wow.
But this was built in 2000, and we stopped drag racing in about 03, 04. So it's kind of just been sitting here. So now we're going to go ahead and redo it all and put it back on the street.
What motor are you putting in it?
SR.
On
SR with a
street?
power glide, yeah.
On the street?
Yeah, to be a street
I
legal.
love America. Once it's a drag car, it's never ever on the street again, eh? Ever.
No, we're going to go ahead. We're supposed to have another guy come by today. It's another 240Z we built. 409 block, twin turbo. We're making roughly 1,800 horse. But he actually wrecked it into the wall last night. Backed it in on the drag strip. So we're still tuning it. So we're having a misfire, and we got it tuned just right. But it hit some sand when he hit the brakes, and it just backed it in. But even shutting off 3/4 of the way down the track, we're running high 8s and quarter. So
that's flying. So you're doing these SR20 conversions. How hard do you find to get these motors in the States?
They're not that hard.
No?
They're actually pretty good.
What cars of these come to the States in? Have you got any?
None.
No, yeah, so you're importing them as half cuts?
A lot of times we're just getting the motor sets.
Okay.
So right now, believe it or not, the big thing is the DEs in the 510s.
Yes, okay.
So we're doing a lot of these. We just finished our own custom headers on these. So this one I'm building for a guy named Travis Brock. His father's actually Peter Brock.
No way.
So this is his
a
son's car.
famous car, yeah.
Yeah.
And we've been joking all day because we've got an Australian Peter Brock,
Yes.
completely different guy. And everyone goes, I go, what's that signature? Oh, that's Peter Brock. I'm like, well, who? Different Brock. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
yeah.
so-
You don't know Datsuns as well.
No, that's right. That's right. Exactly. Goalie's all over it.
Yeah, so I'm finishing up his car for him. This is a little Canyon Racer. I just finished fitting in everything. We used, he had Evo 9 seats in it, so I went ahead and custom fitted Evo 9 center console to work. So he's got a 510 with cup holders.
How good is that?
Yeah.
I love these guards. These fiberglass. No,
Yeah.
metal, is it?
It's all fiberglass. So,
Couldn't do that in Australia.
Yeah.
Goalies. Oh, look at that.
so it fits in there pretty nice. Did a little custom work, but shifter works. We're using an inline hydro brake to use as an e-brake for him. So
That is amazing.
then I did a custom fuel system in this thing.
Is he going to be sweet with us filming it?
Yeah, he won't mind. Hey, he's
Couple of guys every now and then.
yeah.
We do workshop cars and they go, I wanted to be the one to show that car.
No.
I mean, it's not finished, so he'll be right.
No, he's fine.
Yeah.
We get some where I actually have to cover the cars during the daytime and only work on them at night when other people can't see them.
Yeah, yeah.
So no. Then this black Z, it's completely redone. We actually took the R34 transfer whole tranny and cut off the all-wheel drive because he wanted the 6-speed. But this one's mainly a show car. So we had the R34 motor built, polished, and powder coated.
Do you like the RB26?
I do. They're great. I tell most guys, if you're going to do it, do them stock, mild tune, because once they start going up in power, then it's a lot more money and a lot more parts.
Definitely.
Stock in a Z is fine.
Yeah.
It builds a lot of power.
A lot of the guys are going back to RB30 strokers.
Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting. Is it RB26 heads on an RB30? Is that what you're doing? Yeah.
We're actually going to be doing a RB 3.2 going into a Chevelle. It's coming from back east.
Wow. How's it
So we're working with him over the phone and emails now about building the chassis. It's tube chassis, everything. Get the motor built. And once it's ready, shipping the car to us, and then we'll install everything and make it all fit right.
Beautiful. So your shop's pretty much start to finish.
Yes.
Takes them from
The only thing I do not do is interior work, as in like carpeting and all that, and body and paint. But I'll do everything else.
Wow. Beautiful. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
This one is electronic door poppers, keyless entry, keyless start. I handmade all the chassis harness.
Yeah.
We took the intercooler off because I'm now making the adapter to run a modern AC unit into this thing.
Yeah, nice.
This guy's 70 years old, so we got to.
This has always been his dream, is
Yes.
it? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
He had a turboed L motor, and it just kind of said, I want something better. So he's retired from work, and he said, I want something to go to the show and look nice. So we've run everything in this thing.
This is a beautiful
Roadster, 68, I think. We're doing a total frame off,
Oh yeah.
putting the SR S14 motor in it, upgrading everything, you know.
SR in
Guy in the
these.
Datsun Club's just about finished one of these.
Yeah.
Same deal, just put an SR in it, and he's been fitting the motor. He was fitting the motor for a long
Hey.
time.
Funny thing is, it's a buddy that owns this that I'm doing it for. He's 6'3". I'm like, you're not going to fit. He goes, I'm going to look over the windshield.
You're not going back any further.
Yeah.
He might get you to what would you call that tub?
Yep. Yeah, so we're going to be redoing everything on this, all the paneling. I'm going to pull the body off, do all my custom work on the frame, send it out, get it all powder coated, brought back. Then we'll do the body. Same thing. Then after it's done, sent out. Yeah. Yeah. Our kits, when they go into this, there's only one hole you cut for the engine harness. We design it because the guys are Z's. I don't like cutting the cars.
No, that's right.
So we make everything so it just bolts in.
These are interesting.
Yeah, the new
I
HIDs for him.
outside to see.
Yeah.
Reminds me of a chameleon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, another customer's car waiting. I'm waiting on the dash is getting all flocked right now.
Okay.
So we're putting it all in. And
So when, for you, from your perspective, when did these things really go crazy in value? Because these things are really rare and collectible now, aren't they?
they're starting to go up here. You can still find a bunch of them.
Okay.
But the prices are slowly climbing. I would say 2 years ago is when they really started to go up in price.
And was there anything that made that happen? Why now?
Especially in California, no smog. We can do what we want with the motor. I can put anything I want in this and there's nothing they're going to do about it.
Nice.
So a lot of the guys that are older are getting out of their Nissans or their Hondas and tired of getting harassed and going, I can buy one of these, it's rear-wheel drive, I can do what I want with it. The parts are more and more available now, so they're starting to jump into these things.
I won't quote you on it. I won't hold you to it. Ballpark me. If I brought in that shell and I wanted to drive out, I don't want to hear about it, I want you to do everything, hand me the keys and I drive away. Ballpark me all the work. How much is that going to cost?
Like a 26 and up, something like that, about 30 and up.
Yeah, and then it's up based on my specs.
Right.
There.
What suspension we run, what kind of interior, am I putting a cage? It's a 32 motor versus a 34 motor. Am I doing, all mil-spec wiring? Am I using stock stuff? So it's usually when a guy comes in like that, brings me a car, I try to sit down with him at a minimum of 3 days worth of what exactly do you want. That way we have an idea and we'll do a lot of stuff in stages because it is a lot of money to come up front. So we say, all right, stage one, we're going to do all of this stuff. It's X amount. So I'm going to do it for 6 months. So he has 6 months to pay that. Okay, that's done. Now let's do stage two. And we do everything that way. So as a customer, every time you come in, you see that's getting done, that's done. And you're not a huge chunk of money up front. So we do plans like with the red car out front. When he brought us that car in the beginning, he wanted a Ford motor. And we sat down with him and I worked up some numbers and I'm like, look, I can do a Ford engine, but it's not going to sound anything like it should sound because of the way the car looks. Let's try a VK56. It's a Nissan, this is a Datsun, we're staying in the family, and it's about $1,500 more. So he's like, all right, let's do this.
Let's do it.
I said, you're going to get a better review of the car because you're staying within that Datsun Nissan family. and no one's done the VK56 before, so
Yeah.
I think it turned out nice. It's loud.
Yeah, those independent throttle boys are amazing, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I gave you an unlimited budget, what are you building yourself?
Myself, believe it or not, I want a 510 wagon. Push the firewall back. RB26 NA. Mini tubbed with surfboard racks on the top. There you go.
Yeah, nice.
That's what it's a beach cruiser. It's Southern California. That's what I want.
Wow.
Just to put it in automatic drive, cruise to the beach, wind in your hair, you having fun.
Plenty behind it if you want to go, yeah.
Other stuff, I mean, like I said, I have a drag car. I still have the drift car that Tanner Faust drove, and Ryan Hampton and Stefan Verdier, so that still runs. It's perfect setup. Pull it back out, and a few years I'll wait. 15 will be legal, and I can drive that, so. But I said, my dream car, though, is something simple. I'm done with the high horsepower and running around like crazy, hiding from the cops. I don't want that. I want a cruiser, relax, throw the kid in the back, go have fun at the beach, stuff like that.
Definitely. So that wraps up Grassroots Garage down here at McKinney Motorsport. Gary, thanks for your time.
No, thank you.
Well, that's it for this episode from SoCal. We hope you enjoyed it. How cool is this? These guys have been chilling all day filming with us for about 10 hours, and here it is late at night and they're still hanging out chatting cars. That's what Grassroots is all about. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next one.